Use SOH to find the missing angle. So I have to find that angle right there. I'm going to call you X. Now, whenever you're doing right triangle trigonometry, and that's what this is, because SOH stands for sine, cosine, and tangent, which is trigonometric functions, you have to always use a calculator. Not always, but like 99% of the time. Make sure if you're using Desmos, you hit the little wrench and have it set to degrees. If you're using a graphing calculator, a scientific calculator, make sure it's set to degrees and not radians. Radians are something completely different. You'll find out in pre-calc. Now, I'm looking at this missing angle here that I called X. I have no other angles, so it's not like I can subtract from 90 or 180 or anything like that. That's no good. So I have to use these two sides right here. What I have to do is compare 27 and 38 to X. Now, the obvious one is 27 is opposite of that. 38 is next to it. So is that my adjacent or is that my hypotenuse? Well, this is my hypotenuse, so you're my opposite for sure, and you're my adjacent for sure, and I don't have information about the hypotenuse unless I wanted to do Pythagorean theorem, but that's a waste of time. So opposite, adjacent, TOA. Now we're going to set up what TOA means. TOA means the tangent of an angle is going to equal the opposite side over the adjacent side. Okay, so here I have tangent of X equals the opposite side, which I called 27, over the adjacent side, which I called 38. Wow, I sure left a lot of space there, didn't I? I did, and I did that on purpose because I have to get X all by itself. And the only way you get X all by itself is to get rid of that tangent. So we get rid of tangents by taking the inverse tangent of both sides. So we write out the inverse tangent of both sides. That allows us to cross out those tangents over there. Now X is all by itself. I am running to my graphing calculator right now. And if you're using Desmos, you hit functions. If you're not, if you're using a graphing calculator, you probably have to hit second tangent. And then the little tangent inverse pops up. And then you type out 27 over 38. And according to the Desmos that I'm using, I get 35.9344795, blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm not done. I'm not going to circle that for two reasons. Reason number one, I never used X in the original problem. I created X just because. Also, I don't have a decimal, and that's too many numbers. So I'm going to round this off to two decimal places and say that my answer is 35.39 degrees. All right. And you could look at this and say, yeah, that looks about right. If for some reason you did this and you got a ridiculously small number, that's because you have it set to radians. And that's not rad. It's 90s slang for really cool.